So not the second disruption today, it's that we will invite two non-IT people. It's not non-IT people, but there are two. So the next presentation is Key Transformation in IT World of Work, and we will have topics like shifting recruitments, profiles and workforce structures, the new role of the manager, the changing nature and content of the IT job. I can't wait to prepare my CV, and you guys, you can do it as well. So I would invite Miss Corina Gonțanu, Head of Marketing and Communication Manpower Group Romania, and Mr. Vittorio Zandomenghi, Operations Director, Emerging Markets Experience Europe. Thank you, guys. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Yes, this is it. I would like to start first with a lesson learned from the other panelists till now, from the speech of the other panelists, and then share with you three basic questions that I have in mind based on the discussion that we have. First of all is that everybody is talking about putting people first. Does it mean that the technology company, not only the consulting one, this morning, starting from Atos speech in the beginning about the change, all of you are talking about the key success factor of having the right talent in your organization. Does it mean that as we call in the Manpower Group in Esperis, we enter the human age era? Does it mean that the key factor is not the capital? For sure, capital is very important, but is the talent. Does it mean that we have to ask simple question, three simple questions, and reply to this simple question to grow our company and to survive in this very challenging world of work? Do I have the leader in place in my company to face the challenges now and in the future, to compete and to beat the competition in my industry? Second, am I connecting the business strategy with the people strategy in my company and align my organization having a people strategy and not only a business strategy? Number three, am I attracting really the key people, but also preparing the organization for the new leaders? Does it mean to have a succession plan in place? And this is very, very important in our organization to create a scalable business, a sustainable business. If we all agree that there are really the key question, we as Esperis are exactly committed to support you to win in these challenges in the world of work, because we are a global leader in professional resourcing and project-based workforce. So, like the moderator said, we are not a pure technology company. We are a specialized IT recruiting company, which is different. We accelerate organization growth by attracting, assessing, and placing specialized professional talent. Does it mean the engine, if I understood correctly, the engine that you need in your organization? I remember the Atos speech. You can have the best platform, technology platform all over the world, but if you have not in place the right talent to manage it, you fail. Very briefly, our differentiator. First of all, we operate as Esperis in more than 50 countries. We work with 80% of the Fortune Global 500 companies, and we have quite about 40,000 skilled professionals on a daily assignment. Does it mean a big company? In Europe, we have more than 20 countries active, present, and we work in partnership to understand your needs, to really work not only on vertical capabilities, doesn't mean hard skill, but working on soft skills that are very, very important. Doesn't mean that each talent need and is able to succeed in a specific environment, because it's very different to have a manager or an IT professional for a startup phase from another consolidated market or industry. So we focus clearly and specifically in soft skill and not only in hard skill. Then we have a lot of partnership, and we understand that every challenge is unique for you, and we want to. We have a vast network of consultants specialized on IT, specialized on basic 3 verticals. We have IT, engineering, and finance. For Romania, we have the team in place. We have a lot of partnership and active clients, but we today are very proud, together, me personally, with the Romanian team and with the Romanian management, to launch officially the Asperis brand in Bucharest, in Romania, and really managing these 3 line of offerings and be totally concentrated from the beginning to the IT market, to the IT vertical industry, managing the recruitment services, the project-based solution, and the consulting services. Doesn't mean that if we agreed on the basic question and on the statement that we enter the human age era, you have the right partner that is fully committed. You are committed, as I know perfectly. You are committed to deliver excellent technology results and platform, but also to manage excellent talent. Doesn't mean that we are committed first to put the right people in place in your organization to really to make you perform and to support you in this challenging world of work and this world of talent. So I'm very pleased now to introduce Corina, that is our marketing manager, that will drive you across a presentation on our vision on the world of work on an IT environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Vittorio. And because we are 2 teaming you, I'm going to speak in English, although I speak better in Romanian. But apparently I also speak more in Romanian, and we only have 10 minutes. So I'll forge right ahead and talk to you about the world of work in IT&C. This is a long presentation, but I'll go through it quickly because there is a report in Romanian in your bags, and it's fresh, hot off the presses. We don't even have it in English yet, but we will soon. And in this report, we're trying to show people the impact upon the IT&C world of work of the trends that we have been seeing for the past 5 or more years, ever since Manpower Group spoke about entering the human age. An age in which talent is the main differentiator between organizations. But it is an age driven by technology, and technology itself is not immune to the changes in the world of work. And we've identified a few that we think are coming in the near future for you. And we've put them into the report, and we're talking about the talent shortage. It's already here. We're talking about changes in the content of jobs and therefore the skills needed to carry out those jobs, and changes in the structure of the workforce, and 2 of them are important for us, are automation and hollowing out. And I assure you, we haven't shared presentations with the other speakers before, but we are actually speaking about pretty much the same thing. So I will speed through some things that they already said. Talent shortage. For about 10 years, Manpower Group, of which Experis is a part, has been running a talent shortage survey. And for the past about 4 years, Romania is in the top 5 countries in the world in terms of talent shortage. Last year, 61% of Romanian employers told us that they have a problem filling positions. And obviously, and to no one's surprise, IT positions are among the top 10 hardest to fill, with a focus on obviously developers, programmers, but also IT leaders and managers, and we will see later why that is. But we've asked the employers why that is, and they told us there's a lack of specific skills and job knowledge, which obviously has to do also with the rapidly evolving type of competencies that are needed, but also with some lagging adjustments in the educational systems that don't really correspond to everybody's needs right now. And an insufficient number of candidates, which I think every company recruiting in IT knows that is the case in the Romanian market. They also told us about the lack of workplace and soft skills, which are increasingly important and in 1 out of 6 situations are making the hiring impossible. Added to this talent shortage, we're seeing a rise in the ways in which work is being done and contracted. So instead of employing somebody directly, a lot of companies are resorting to freelancers. And Upwork now, previously Elance Odesk, has told us that Romania is one of the top countries from which such work is sourced. So a lot of Romanians, and growing 25%, are preferring to sell their IT and technology services online to companies from across the world. Now, given that the millennials prefer to have a seamless integration between their work life and their personal life, what we call one life, the fact that they have an alternative that is more flexible and more interesting and more tailored to their needs than working for a company and coming to the office, even at 11 o'clock, as I've heard some people do. Our managers here in the room, I'm trying to suggest that we might come at 11 o'clock, but I don't think it's working. The idea is that these people are going to be attracted in this type of work instead of being employed in your company. So what do? Well, you ask a partner for help, possibly it's Paris. What we are also seeing, and I spoke to you about that before, is the growing importance of soft skills. And one recent article from the Harvard Business School Review told us that the social skills input into our tasks has grown by 24% in the past years, whereas the labor, the physical force, has declined, and even the analytical, the mathematical skills that we are so proud of have stagnated or declined in terms of their input, their contribution to our total work. So that is really, really important and will affect the labor market. And we're already seeing this, and these results come as of April 2016 from Burning Glass, which is one of the largest CV parsing and job parsing companies in the world. And they've seen, parsing through many, 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 many millions of jobs, that the keywords that employers are using, which are reflecting obviously the skills that are looking for, are growing in the sense of the soft skills. So whereas pure technical competencies in the IT world are still very important, the demand for soft skills such as social media, business development, decision-making, collaboration, this demand is increasing. And it will only increase as the workforce becomes more globalized and uses platforms to work together, as opposed to me talking to you as I do today. Now, the other important thing that we are seeing is hybrid jobs. The same company, Burning Glass, has told us that all IT jobs have grown in number by 7% over 5 years. However, as part of IT jobs, hybrid jobs have grown by 53%. What are hybrid jobs? Hybrid jobs are jobs that are blending two types of fields that were previously not connected. We're not only talking about the interaction of business and technology that you see at the IT CEO, IT manager, CIO level, at the level of a technology company that's also trying to market its services. But we're talking of roles at intermediate levels in the organization that are now blending things that were completely separate. For example, and this is my own field because I'm a marketer, a marketing automation manager that needs to know marketing very, very well, but also needs to not handle, but actually implement technology. Think it through, design processes for that technology. Hybrid jobs, we are thinking, are going to become increasingly important, and they have several impacts on the workforce. First of all, They can be the gateway into technology for people who are not technology majors or technology students in the beginning. So a lot of people are transitioning into jobs with a technological impact from fields that are now populated with hybrid jobs. Now, for an IT company or for an IT manager comes the question, how do you assess the skills of those people? They don't come from a traditional educational background. They don't have the career path that allows you to establish whether they are good professionals or not. Then it means the need for training. Because you might have very good tech people, but they probably do not have those specific skills in other fields. And then comes the talent shortage. There's already a lot of talent missing in IT, so where do you find those that you want to reconvert or build or promote into positions that require skills in two areas? And isn't it easier for people to actually stay in their technical area instead of trying to accumulate and learn something new? Quick pointer on this. We've recently been asked by Carriere, our gracious co-host, about whether an IT manager needs an MBA, and you can find our opinion in the MBA guide. But the point was exactly that. You need to upskill yourself for the hybrid jobs, and the company needs to upskill its staff. And then, obviously, there's the educational challenge. Let's not forget the elephant in the room. The educational challenge of hybrid jobs not being currently addressed by the educational system anywhere, let alone in Romania. And how can you assess and establish whether the alternate sources of education that do exist, and one of the emerging trends is nano degrees, on Udacity, but also courses on Coursera and on Udemy, whether those alternative qualifications are good. How do you know if they're good? They have no record, they're very new, they're short in duration. So for you employers and for us as a talent company, it's a challenge, but we can rise up to it. Now, I wanted to play a video, but hopefully I will play it at the end because I don't know exactly how much time I have. But we've been talking about automation, and I want to make sure that we pass through this because it's been spoken by the EY representative before. A recent report from the World Bank says that 40% of jobs in Romania are susceptible to automation. All jobs, not just IT jobs. And in all emerging markets, the percentage of jobs can exceed 2/3. Now you might think, okay, obviously we're not doing labor jobs that can be replaced by technology. But then there's RPA, and RPA applies to a number of things that I think might look familiar to you. Repetitive, structured tasks mediated by technology. I guess a lot of us are doing those things, or maybe not you, but teams in your departments. Complex decisions based on patterns and algorithms, definitely. Accessing multiple systems in order to complete one activity or one process. Finding, updating, or collating information. I know I do that all the time. If it could be optimized, I'd be very happy. And workflow-based interactions with people. And the key questions are these four. Who does it cheaper? Who does it better? Will it make doing things easier, or will it make them possible? Because there really are some things that, no matter how talented and wonderful we are, we can't do. And the key question is for those people who are in BPO today. There's already discussions about BPO becoming business processes as a service because of robotic process automation. So what will happen in a country where I've recently read that there's going to be 100,000 people employed in BPOs, including IT, next year? What will happen in a country that tied into BPO and top 13 in the world and rising, when robotic process automation hits us? And it will not be long. And those were some figures, but what we've noticed, and this is my final point, although I have a lot more to make, is what are the consequences of robotic process automation on the workforce, other than the danger to specifically very traditional BPO companies? First of all, because it's replacing the repetitive tasks, it's replacing the type of tasks that can be easily processualized, made into a workflow, It will lower the requirement for staff at the lower levels in the organization. Level 1, Level 2 support in your companies, Level 1, Level 2 support in the IT departments. What happens with those people? Who will absorb them in the workforce? Who will train them to be better at something else? And that something else might be more cognitive intensive tasks, such as handling exceptions that the software can't, such as making decisions that are complex in nature and involve business aspects. And obviously, new jobs, because recruitment process automation is automation, it is technology, so it will create new jobs. But where are the people who have the skills and have the capability to go through, to carry out these tasks? Well, hopefully we have convinced you that we know what the challenges are and we know where to find them. And you can get in touch with Newborn Experience Romania at these coordinates. Follow us on social media, we're very social, and read the report. I think it's going to be worth your while.
Thank you very much. If there are questions right now, otherwise we can postpone them for the